All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a machine that you see absolutely everywhere, but you probably don't really know, the forklift. Turns out this everyday workhorse has a secret life, and it's way more versatile than you think. So let's get into it.
Go on, just for a second. When I say forklift, what's the first image that pops into your head? I'm willing to bet it's some yellow machine zipping around a warehouse, lifting pallets, right?
And look, you're not wrong. That's its most famous gig for sure. But what we're going to see today is that that's just chapter 1. There is a whole book to this story. So let's start on its home turf, the warehouse. This is where it made its name, and we're about to see exactly why it's the undisputed king of indoor logistics. Now, you've probably seen those little pallet jacks scooting around, and yeah, they're useful for moving stuff from point A to point B on the floor. But a forklift? That's a whole different ballgame. It doesn't just lift, it lifts high, and it can tilt its load for stability, which is just crucial.
And this is where its genius really starts to show. It's not just about pallets. You can swap out the forks for a giant pole to move rolls of carpet. You can get a special side loader version to squeeze down super narrow aisles. Or you can go all out and get a 50-ton monster that literally lifts entire shipping containers.
Okay, so it owns the warehouse. We get it. But what happens when the forklift leaves that nice, clean, organized space and heads out into the big, messy world? Well, out on a construction site, you've got forklifts built for rough terrain, hauling pallets of bricks over mud and dirt like it's nothing. And down at the loading docks, their real magic is agility. They can drive right into the back of a semi-truck or onto a ship to place cargo exactly where it needs to go. The real secret to its power, though, the attachments. You just switch out the forks, and the same machine can suddenly handle bricks, then lumber, then giant barrels, then tiles. It's like a Swiss Army knife for really, really heavy stuff.
So we've seen it in pretty organized settings, right? Warehouses, construction sites. But what happens when the job gets, well, dirty? This is where it gets really interesting.
Think about a recycling center or a farm. You're not dealing with neat little boxes. You're dealing with massive, compressed bales of paper or hay. So you just take the forks off and snap on this thing called a bale clamp. It's basically a giant hydraulic claw that grabs and lifts these awkward loads. Problem solved. And it gets better. You can attach a hopper, which is just a big bucket really, and suddenly your forklift is a miniature dump truck. You can move waste, dirt, whatever, and then dump it with a pull of a lever, all from the driver's seat. It's so simple and so incredibly effective. All right, so we've got warehouses, construction sites, and recycling centers covered, but now we're heading into the territory of jobs you would never in a million years expect a forklift to do. You might want to buckle up for this. Just think about that for a second. A blizzard hits. What do you call? A snowplow, right? But what if you had a forklift sitting there? Could it do the job? Oh, absolutely it can. You just attach a blade to the front and your trusty warehouse machine is now a snow-clearing beast for your driveway or parking lot. I mean, how cool is that? Okay, so it can push snow around. Fine. But what about cleaning up a messy factory floor or a dock covered in debris? Surely you need a totally different machine for that, right? A dedicated sweeper or something. Nope. You just swap on an industrial brush sweeper attachment. And I mean, this thing can clean up everything. Sawdust, rocks, pieces of broken pallets, you name it. It's a lifter, a plow, and a janitor all in one machine. And get this, it can even lift people. Now, hold on, you have to use a proper approved safety cage. But once you do, it's perfect for maintenance or changing high-up light bulbs. No, it won't reach as high as a giant cherry picker, but for a ton of everyday jobs, it saves you from needing another expensive, single-purpose machine. So let's just pull all of this together for a second. We started with a very simple picture of a machine lifting boxes, but what we've actually uncovered is a true jack-of-all-trades. This chart here gives you a pretty good idea, yeah? Warehouse work is a big slice of the pie, but look at the rest. Construction, those dirty jobs, all those surprising tasks we just talked about. Its real identity is spread across all these essential industries. It's so much more than a one-trick pony. All told, the source material we looked at laid out 12, count them, 12 completely distinct jobs for a forklift. That's right, a dozen different jobs for one machine that most of us just picture doing a single task. That is a serious testament to some incredible adaptable engineering. And this quote from the source, Angus Lift Trucks, really just says it all, doesn't it? After seeing everything it can do, it's pretty hard to argue with that. It really is an indispensable piece of equipment. It makes you wonder, right? If the humble forklift is this ridiculously versatile, what other everyday objects are out there hiding secret lives right in front of our eyes? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.